When it comes to nostalgic, sentimental memories that make us think of the past, reminisce about things that once were, and the history of our diversity and culture, many think of antiques. From vintage Hot Wheels, to handcrafted antique vases and pottery, to valued china and silverware, antiques are always a hotspot for a blast from the past. Unfortunately, there's one thing that may stand in the way of getting our hands on things our ancestors considered new: inflation.
According to Halifax Chamber of Commerce, Tiff Macklem, despite a slight decline with inflation rates in recent months, the awareness of an 8.1% rate in June this year is still a cause for concern. The real question is, what does this mean for the antique business? Antique dealer Brian Davis explains his struggles when dealing with inflation.
Depending on how somebody will do their business, I typically go on house calls. I will go all over the place. The travel is worth it. It just depends on what I might be potentially buying from a customer. So you've got cost of fuel, you've got if a stay overnight is required, all your food costs, and all those costs have all gone up. Those are direct costs.
Matthew Haig of the Globe and Mail states, the price of English antiques dropped almost 40% between 2007 and 2017. Davis faces similar problems regarding inconsistencies.
Fashion trends go up and down. There's some things that were very popular 40 years ago that are not popular at all right now. In a few months, you have no choice but to raise prices. Another problem is they can be from an auction, and those costs have gone up.
Another big issue for dealers like Davis is the conflict of relevancy when selling to independent corporations and consumers.
They always have to go through some kind of certification process in order for a museum to actually take the items from their possession and put it on display.
Shareholders with vendors in antique malls create a major assurance that overshadows item value and jumps right into increased prices.
Not only has the item that they're sourcing gone up, but the cost of obtaining it.
With dealers having to put faith in item values, trends, and customers, it makes for a unique way that inflation is impacting the antique industry.
Number of transactions has decreased, but the average dollar value of those transactions has increased.
This is Curtis Hunter signing off from Spoke Online.